pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty, so I just heard the national anthem. So the next up, we do have somebody who has done a lot of events with the 9/11 and with Veterans Day, and he is Rafi the Singing Jeweler.
I do sing at a lot of athletic civic events. Sometimes it's a struggle to find a flag, believe it or not. I don't have to worry about it this event. A lot of flags. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alrighty, so the next up, I do have a couple of names that I wanted to show our appreciation towards. There are a couple of people that are supporting us. A few of these people are going to be speaking in just a little while. Douglas Lloyd out of Bethlehem, he's running for school board out that way. He helped out tremendously with the speakers and the sound system. He's someplace around here. Marcus C. Williams is out of Rochester. He's actually going to be speaking for the most part of this today, so I don't have to. And he is running for assemblyman out there. Michael, and I'm sorry if I butcher this, Arbage. Okay, out of Amsterdam, New York, he's also running for assemblyman. Thomas Weirman is from Long Island. He's running for Assembly District 4. Chris Sperber is also out of Long Island, running for Assembly District 11. So those are just a few of the people that we've gotten the names of and what they're running for around. Obviously, all of you people, we would not be here without you. So truly thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of all of the people who have stepped up to organize this. There is multiple people, including all of you. So I do appreciate that and thank you very much. So I am going to introduce at this time Mr. Marcus C. Williams. He is a small business owner out of Rochester, and he's going to be directing the rest of this for y'all.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Can I get a God bless America? God bless America. All right, you don't hear too much of that anymore now, do you? No. Thank you all for coming out today. It's a lovely day. It looks like We've got great weather. It's kind of warm. It's not raining, and there's none of that S word, right? All right, so that means that the Lord has blessed our endeavors here today. So that means that what we are doing is right and righteous, and we are working to wake up more people so that they can see that the direction that our country is going in is not the right way for us to go. We've got a great number of speakers here and personal testimonies today. And I'm so thankful for all of you who've come out from so far across the state. You know, I mean, we're here from every corner of this state today to stand up for our freedoms and for our liberties and against government overreach. So today we're here to fellowship with our fellow patriots, to hear some great stories of encouragement to warm the hearts of us and others all around the state, the nation, and hopefully the world. If we can wake one more person up that wasn't awake today, each of us individually will have a whole army soon to stand up against the tyranny and oppression that is being drilled down upon us by those who are active in our government, who are standing against our Constitution, against our God-given rights, and for sin and sacrilege all across our nation. So with that, I'm going to bring our first person to the stage. We're going to have Thomas Quitter, sorry, Tom. Oh my goodness, geez, Jiminy Crickers. Okay, so Tom has been a fighter all his life, and today he's working to fight to become a U.S. Senator. Tom believes in communities, not state or federal governments, and he believes that he can provide the best assistance for those in need. And his favorite saying is, help someone today and be able to live with yourself tomorrow. And I think that encompasses a lot of what we got going on today. So thanks a lot, Tom. Tom, slide on up here, and let's get this show on the road.
Oh, Jose? Okay.
Testing, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is better accommodation than I got in public school in New York. So, a lot of patriots in the crowd, I assume. Does anybody remember the warning that George Washington gave the nation when he refused to be king? He was offered a kingship in this country, and he refused it. And he would then go on to warn us against falling prey to a two-party system. Because when you have only two parties in power, they're going to cooperate. When they cooperate, they are not two parties, they are one parties. This is why we have rhinos and dinos.
Yes.
Because
Only God is king.
They're too cooperative with each other. They're not representing the actual needs of the people. That's why I'm a libertarian. You don't hear that word enough. Libertarian, not liberal, liberty. Testing. Does this look provocative enough for you? And so, has anybody heard the latest political joke?
Oh, no. Tell us.
Andrew Cuomo's talking about running for governor again.
That is a joke. It's scary.
So when we talk about what happened through the pandemic,
Long Island.
we talk about lockdowns, we talk about restrictions, we talk about people losing their jobs, we talk about people losing the right of free travel. These are all constitutionally guaranteed rights to pursue happiness, to pursue our own commerce, and to be able to see each other, to be in our communities. That may not be listed in the Constitution individually, but there's this one little key thing: inalienable rights.
That's right.
Just because it's not written down doesn't mean that we don't have a right to it.
Yeah, that's right.
So why am I running for office? Well, let's get rid of
You've
that,
had
because
it.
that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is to talk about what we need in this state and in this country. What we need is better representation. We need term limits.
Yes.
We need to roll back executive orders, executive powers.
We need patriots.
I believe that our state violated its own laws because they're supposed to revalidate every 30 days when they give emergency powers. And really what happened was just we had a group of yes men saying yes all the time. That's not representation, and that's not correct. I will leave you with this. When all seems lost, it is not. We are Americans.
Amen.
We were born and raised here or immigrated, as the young woman who was speaking earlier said. If you're an American, you have the right to liberty.
That's right.
And we need to seek it in every way. And that means supporting third parties. I don't care who you vote for. If you have the chance, sign our petition, get us on the line, make sure we can be heard too. Because we want to make sure you can be heard. I ran in 2020. I saw the disabled turned out on the street. I saw a gentleman come down with a disability and not be able to get treatment. I flew him to Florida. He got into a doctor, and 2 weeks later he's back to work as a carpenter. These are the things we need to be able to do. And it is not correct for the government to stop us. It is not correct for a single individual in power to make edicts that keep us from being free. Now, it is afternoon. I'll leave you with good morning, because everyone is waking up. It's time.
We're awake.
Now is the time.
Thank you. Good luck.
Don't blame me. I voted for Larry Sharpe.
All right, you guys, give it up one more time for Tom. All right, a little housekeeping real quick. We've got a dark SUV, dark blue SUV, all the way in the back in the last row. Your tailgate is open. You might want to go close that. There's some interesting kids riding on some interesting bikes over there. So go check that out, whoever's car that is. All right, so as Tom was just saying, our third parties have been completely eradicated and eviscerated by the Cuomo government. And that's unacceptable. So we need choices. And that's part of our whole country's philosophy. Oh, that's much better. All right, there we go. So part of our country's philosophy is that we have options. That we have options that other nations across the world do not. And it was never supposed to be a two-party system. It was always supposed to have more options. And one of the things that Tom and Larry and other people who are running independent or were previously in other parties like Libertarian, Green Party, so forth, are doing is they're trying to fight for their right, for their voices, just to be able to be heard by you, to be able to be considered by you to get on the ballot. So that's something that's very important. Me, myself, I'm actually running for the 137th Assembly in Rochester and Gates. All right. So thank you guys. So shameless plug, please check out my website, marcusforrochester.com, and you can link to my Facebook on there. All right. Anyway, what I witnessed while I was running a couple years ago for city council was Cuomo pushing up the petitioning period to the middle of the winter to make it more difficult for us to collect signatures that we need, because New York is one of the few states that still has the purpose for you to have to collect signatures to get on the ballot. And let me tell you that is extremely challenging. I'm sure Tom and Larry and everyone else will tell you that it is not an easy thing. So please, while you might not necessarily consider usually doing that, if you have the opportunity, please check out them. We've got a Citizens Audit back there. They're collecting signatures so that people can actually get a chance to go and look at the audit for the state. So next we've got a personal story coming up, a personal testimony coming up from, forgive me if I don't say this right, from another Tom. Tom Weirman. All right, fantastic, Tom. Come on up.
You know, I'm looking at you guys, and all I gotta say is, look at all you maskless filth. Oh my gosh. I bet there might even be some unvaccinated people out there. Oh my God. I bet you people even believe in freedom. Yes, and some of you might even believe that like natural immunity is stronger than vaccine. Science deniers. Well, if you guys believe in all those things, then I'm with you. I believe in freedom. I believe it's the foundation of this nation and this state. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Tom Weirman. I was a New York City teacher and a college professor. I lost both jobs due to the vaccine mandate. I remember the day. It was August 27th. Mayor Bill de Blasio, the worst mayor in the world, Mayor Bill de Blasio, said all teachers must be vaccinated within 1 month or you lose your job.
Criminals! Yes.
That's right. Unconstitutional criminals. But let me tell you something. I could just sit here and tell you, yeah, that's easy. I'm just going to fight back. No problem. I'm not going to take that vaccine. But let's be honest, guys. Can I just see a raised hands here? Did anybody lose your job because of this? I see several hands out there. Yeah, sure. And I guarantee you that it wasn't an easy decision for you guys. I'm the provider of my family. I had a 20-year teaching career in New York City. I loved my job. I love my students. I miss my students to this day. But I had to weigh these options. I said, do I lose my health benefits that I'm going to have for the rest of my life? Do I lose my pension? Do I lose my income? Or do I lose my freedom? And I could tell you, it wasn't an easy decision, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard. I'm a dad. I'm a father. I mean, my beautiful wife is right there. And thank God I have that woman in my life. Without her, I don't know what I would have done, but she was supporting me. Yeah, absolutely. She's awesome. But I remember sitting in my backyard one day with tears in my eyes thinking, what am I going to do here? I don't know. I said to myself, maybe I'll just take the shot. And I pictured myself in the doctor's office, sitting on one of those doctor's chairs, and I pictured myself getting the needle in my arm, and I got myself sick. It literally got myself sick because I said, how can I give up my freedom for these people who are trying to run my life, take my freedoms away, take my constitutional rights away?
Or kill you.
Or kill me, possibly. That's true. So I had a major decision to make, and I knew the one person I had to go to, the one person that could really tell me what I should do. And that was Jesus. That was Jesus. I prayed to God. I said, God, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to trust you on this. And when I said, God, I'm going to trust you, I had amazing peace in my life. And I still have that same peace today. Because I know I made the right decision. I put my trust in him, not in man. And if I could encourage you, one thing to do today, guys, if you don't know God, if you don't know Jesus in your life, I'm going to encourage you guys. Get to know him. You could talk to me. I'm sure you could talk to him and several other people here. But I want to make sure you guys know that's very important.
Amen.
So I decided I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to take the shot. And I was a professor, an adjunct professor for 16 years. I was, like I said, a 20-year teacher. I left my job, or I should really say, some people say you were given a choice to take it or leave. I said, no, that's called an ultimatum. We were given ultimatums. That's what we were given. But with that ultimatum, I was not going to give up my freedom. No way. Not at all. Now, I can't sit here and blame anybody if they said they had to take it. That's not I can't judge you. You had to make that decision, and it's unfortunate that you were forced to make that decision if you felt you were forced to take that shot. But you know what? We have to fight now. We can no longer sit back and watch these people in Albany, in Washington, D.C., or wherever they may be, in New York City, dictate how we're going to live our lives. We can't let that happen anymore. We must stand up now and fight. Now, when I was teaching, I was a teacher in the Bronx, and sometimes I would have some rough classes, some difficult classes. And sometimes I would stop my lesson and say, no, we're going to take a break. And I would teach them this one valuable life lesson. I said, we're going to talk about the human pyramid. And the human pyramid, it's like a triangle really, okay, but we call it a pyramid. It was grouped up into 4 sections. The bottom section was 27%. A big middle section was 60%. We had a smaller section at the top that was 10. And the tippy top of that triangle, that pyramid, was 3%. That totaled 100% of the population. You know what that 27% at the bottom represented? The losers of society, the selfish, the people that are only in it for themselves, the people who just seek power and don't care who they step on. The 60% represented the mediocre people. They weren't as bad as the losers in life, but these are the people that when they die, nobody's going to remember them at all. They just go along and get along, and they're happy with just status quo. But then we have the top 13%. We have 10%. These are the winners. I would teach my students, if you're going to be a winner, you're going to be a person who's going to make a difference in this world. You're going to be a problem solver. You're going to be doing the things to better yourself, and sometimes you might have to even get uncomfortable. And then we had the top, that last 3%, which was the elite. So we had the winners who had all those great characteristics as the winners, and the elites had all of that. But not only were the elites problem solvers, they were looking for problems to solve. These are the people that were sacrificing for themselves. And when I look at you guys all here, many of you guys drove from all different parts of the state to be here, to show your support, to band together, to fight. You guys are 13%. You're either in that winner or elite category. But you have to admit, though, right? It's 13% versus 87%. But you know what? A strong 13% of the people can make a massive difference for the 100% of the population. So yes, I lost both jobs, but now I'm looking to fight also. That's why I'm running for New York State Assembly in District 4 on Long Island. Thank you guys so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Tom. So, if it wasn't for people like that are willing to stand up in the face of the decisions that would be the hardest for any of us here to make, okay? Many people that I know personally, unfortunately, against their own better judgment or preferred preference, have actually decided to get the shot, okay? Now, some of the people that I know have had extremely serious adverse side effects from that. Some are still healthy, but some not so much. And they're like, man, I really wish I didn't have to decide on whether or not I was going to be able to feed my family or put something inside my body that I wasn't sure that I wanted to do yet. So what we need to make sure is that we're standing up for our liberties, for our freedoms, and for our bodily autonomy.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay? If we don't do it, nobody else is going to stand up for your bodily autonomy or yours or anybody else in the crowd or anybody else at home. Nobody's going to stand up except you. So I encourage everyone out here to start taking charge of their own lives and standing up to these government officials who will do whatever they can to get you to kowtow low to them and go along with whatever their flavor of the day is today. So please, be encouraged by all of the speakers that we have coming to the stage. Be encouraged by your neighbors standing next to you. Be encouraged by seeing so many amazing American patriots out here today from so many different walks of life. We have another speaker that's about to come up. Some of you know him. He's been out here working hard to give a different voice to people so that people can actually hear a different point of view and a different perspective. He is a husband, a father, a Marine, an entrepreneur, a teacher, a political activist. His mission is to help people find happiness through community and purpose, often by overcoming bad policy decisions in government. He is now the endorsed candidate of the Libertarian Party of New York and the Forward Party. So, this next gentleman that I'm bringing to the stage is really looking to stand up against these reckless fools that we have in office right now. Woo! Mr. Larry Sharpe!
Hey everybody, how are you? Some of you may know a little bit about my story. As a baby, I was actually adopted. And then my adopted mother and father, we didn't have a great upbringing because my father passed when I was young. I was only 11 years old when he died. For those of you who have seen this happen, my father died of cancer. It took him many years to pass away. This is back in the 70s. And during that time, he really, really wanted to live. He said, do whatever it takes to keep me alive. Cut me open, chemotherapy, doesn't matter. Do whatever it takes to keep me alive. He wanted desperately quantity of life. That's what he wanted. Didn't work, he still passed. My mother at one point also passed of cancer several years later. But when she was ill with cancer, she was older. I had my first daughter already, so she had a granddaughter. She loved her granddaughter tremendously. She went to her doctor and she said, "Doctor, don't do all the things to me that will destroy my quality of life. If I can't spend time with my daughter, my granddaughter, then I don't want to live. I want to spend time with my granddaughter because it matters to me." She wanted quality of life. And I would ask somebody, which one is correct? And the answer is both. Because you own your life. You own your life. I don't own it. The doctor doesn't own it. The government doesn't own it. You own your life. And if you want more life or quality of life, or you want to risk your life, that's on you because you own your life. They might go, "But Larry, this changes when all of a sudden the virus hits. So now it's all different." Well, I heard that. And a lot of people told me that. And I get that emotion. I get the fear. I do. I understand that fear and that emotion. I completely do. I understand the peer pressure. The gentleman just came up here and talked about that. Peer pressure. I get that. I feel it. I felt it too. I have two older people in my life, both in their 80s, both who have pre-existing conditions. Scary. Very scary. But both in our life, I'm a member of the Orthodox Christian Church. They like going to church. They go often. And I went to both of them and I said, "Look, I'm scared because I love you. And I'd rather you not go to church right now because I'm scared." Both of them said, "You know what, Larry, I'm scared too. I don't think I'm going to go." But let me tell you something that might shock you. If one of them had said, "Larry, I don't care. I want to go to church. Will you drive me?" I would have driven him because he owns his life. I have an opinion and you can have an opinion. And my opinion before with you was based upon fear. I love them. I don't want them to die. I'm scared. So I told them that. I didn't force them. I gave them my opinion. And they took a choice. You might go, "Larry, that makes sense, but shouldn't we have closed the churches? Because then all the old people will die?" I heard that too. And I said, "Well, you can't do that even if you think it's true. And if you think it's true, you can say it. We have freedom of speech, right? You can say it if you think that's true. I have no problem with you saying it. But I have a problem with locking down the church. Because the same people who say, well, freedom of speech, they forget that in that First Amendment is also freedom of religion. You are doing my stuff. I love you. I love bringing you everywhere I go. Yes. Along with that freedom of speech is also freedom of religion. Now, you might think, well, Larry, you shouldn't die for your faith. You might believe that. And again, you can say that if you want to. But if I want to, I get to. If you want to, you get to. I bring this up because in a true libertarian mindset, I can say my opinion. It's okay. You just don't have to listen. That's the issue. I can say it. I can have an opinion. And you can have an opinion too. And as long as your opinion isn't forced on me, all good. So how does that work in New York State? What I hear all the time in New York State, I hear it all the time. Diversity, diversity, diversity. All right, you know what? I'm in. Let's be diverse. So then why would we have one-size-fits-all policies from one city? I thought we cared about diversity. I thought that was so critical and so important. If that is so critical and so important, as they say it is, well then why wouldn't we let local people make local decisions? Why aren't local school boards not controlled by the state. You're going to tell me diversity, right? That's what you're going to tell me. Okay, I'm in. Let's do this. Why don't we let Allegheny County be Allegheny? Let Brooklyn be Brooklyn. Let Broome be Broome. Let Erie be Erie. Let the counties be what they need to be for their own people. That makes a whole lot more sense to me. And I said, Larry, you're sitting there talking trash because you're not the governor yet. That's the reason you're talking trash. No. For those of you who follow me, you know I cross this state every single year. I go to every single county, all 62, every single year. And I talk to people just like you every single year. Always. Even though when I wasn't running, I still did it. Because I care. Because the saddest part I know is at least half of you right now are considering leaving this state. I know you are. At least half of you, if not more. Every one of you knows someone that you care about who has left. We've lost over 2 million New Yorkers in the past 10 years. Yes. And you might go, wait a minute, lads. It's because of Cuomo. That's the reason. Well, that's a big reason. However, that's not the only reason. That is one of many reasons, a big one, yes, but only one of many. Remember something. As long as we have the power held in one person in Albany, just because it happens to be the guy you like, doesn't make it right. So in March of 2020, when I started to hear about COVID, I actually came up with a plan. I wasn't governor. I put it in video so you guys can go back and check it if you think I'm making this up. And I said, here's how we handle this issue. In a libertarian mindset, we do exactly what Thomas Queter said. We use government just as a central repository for information. That's it. I don't understand stuff. Okay, check the government website. It's got here's what the government thinks is right, and also here's what other people think is right, and also here's who someone else thinks is right. Guys, good luck. Make the best decision for your family. Make the best decision for your business. Make the best decision for your community. I would only ask one thing as governor. Be transparent and tell me what's working. Tell me what's not working. Tell me how it's working. So I can put that up too. So people see what's happening and you can decide what you think is working for your family, for your life. That is a real answer. The answer everyone else says is things like this. Well, we need more laws. Or we need to roll back mandates. No, we must change the system. The system is broken. And the system will not change if we keep doing the same thing. Well, I'm a vote Republican, I'm a vote Democrat. Awesome. You're going to get the exact same thing you've gotten for the past 10 years.
That's right.
Exact same thing. You want to change, you have to change how you vote. I am here to get you to change how you vote. You might go, Larry, I don't like you, you're not good looking enough. Well, okay. I am good looking, but not for everybody. I get it, no worries. But you can still hear what I have to say. Because if I get enough impact, it will force others to pay attention. And if we change the system, it won't matter so much who's running things in New York or who's running things in Albany. It won't matter as much. You just point and you'll laugh. And that would be great. Guys, thank you so much. LarrySharpe.com.
All right, Larry, thank you so much. So, Larry was awesome, wasn't he? I really appreciate him talking about everybody's right to choose and the necessity for everybody to get out and vote. So while we're on the topic of voting, I'd like to make sure that I let everybody know New York State and every single county is hurting for election inspectors. So please, if you care about elections, yes, you will get paid. I think it's like, depending on where you are, like $15 an hour. Okay. But we need more election inspectors. So please tell your friends, your family, everybody else, anybody else that they might want to check out with their local board of elections to go be an election inspector. That's one of the most crucial parts of our elections, and we need more people to do that. We got people here from Citizens Audit. Maybe if we had more election inspectors that were from our frame of thought, we wouldn't need that. I'm just saying. So please encourage everybody else out to get them out to vote this year. Last year, we had such a low turnout. It was abysmal, people. You wonder why people are leaving the state left and right? Because they've given up hope. but all of us are here today because we still have hope. Okay. And more than hope, we have faith. We have faith in ourselves, we have faith in our friends, we have faith in our fellows, and we have faith in the Lord. Okay? So, and I hope everybody has faith in our Constitution.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So that's what's going to get us through. But in order to do that, we're going to have to make sure that we get everybody here and everybody else out that we know, and even the people that we don't know, to come out and vote, and you tell them, vote different this year. Okay? Vote different because what we've been doing and who we've been voting for has not been working. You heard about rhinos, dinos, and everybody else. Okay? I don't care if you like them. If the policies are not good, they need to go. Okay? They need to go. So we need to get everybody out this year. We need to get everybody to vote. And I want you to encourage all of your friends to go check out and see if they might want to be an election inspector. With that being said, we've got another great speaker coming up. We've got a congressional candidate running for the Capital Region for New York State, the 20th District, because, you know, we need to hear from more candidates because we don't always get to hear from a lot of candidates that share our views, that care about freedom, that care about your own individual independence, and that care about giving you a voice, right? So with that being said, I'd like to welcome to the stage Liz Joy.
All right, Liz.
Hi, Pat. What's up, Pat? Liz Joy all the way to Congress.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you to this gentleman here who just gave me Tonko's report card. I'm running against Paul Tonko. He's an incumbent who he and Joe Biden have been in office for a combined 89 years. Combined with Joe Biden, 89 years. And you know, I got to tell you something about anybody that might be thinking of leaving the state. Never run from a battle. You hold your ground, you draw the line, you stand your ground, and you defend where you are. Because I'm going to tell you, we can run from our state. We can go anywhere we want. Yeah, that's true. But you know what's going to happen? You're going to face the same battle in a different state, probably in 1 or 2 more years, because we ran from this one. This mom, this grandma, this veteran's wife, I'm not going anywhere. This is my state. I was born and raised here, and I'm going to fight for it all the way. So I'm very glad to be here. You know, I value and I believe in our rights to raise our own families, run our own businesses, and decide what vaccines or medicines we want to put in our body or we don't want to put into our bodies. There is no more powerful voice than the voice of the people that push back in peaceful non-compliance to overreaching, abusive government mandates, tyrannical abuse of emergency powers.
Absolutely.
2 weeks to slow the spread, we all know, turned into big government, both federal and state. Both federal and state government workers, representatives, they all continued to get paid with full benefits, while our businesses were shut down. We had Congress and state government representatives actually looking at us, we the people, labeling us essential and non-essential. We were banned from seeing our loved ones, attending graduations, holding funerals, keeping our businesses open to earn our own livelihoods, while bureaucrats who are dependent on us for their salaries continued to lecture us and told us, quote, just hold on a little bit longer because after all, we're all in this together. But the problem is we weren't all in it together. They were in it, not missing a paycheck, not missing any of their benefits. They broke all the rules. They attended parties while we suffered. 2 full years later, 2 full years. Joe Biden My far-left career politician opponent, Paul Tonko, failure, disgraced Andrew Cuomo, and now tyrannical, corrupt Kathy Hochul have weaponized the power of the elected offices against the people they are supposed to serve. They've spent 2 years firing, punishing, shaming, fining, canceling, and cutting off hardworking Americans and New Yorkers from our own jobs simply because we wanted choices as to wearing masks or not wearing a mask, taking a vaccine or not taking a vaccine. We wanted the individual decision-making power for ourselves, our families, our children, and our businesses. You see, all we said was where there's medical risk, we must have medical choice. But tyrannical government denied our liberties. And now Hochul has weaponized the New York State Department of Health against the people. But guess what? We will not comply. We will not obey. And we will never be shut down or bullied again by overreaching government, ever. And I stand here today with you with a message to all tyrannical government and the New York State Department of Health. And we say to you, you are corrupt and we will not comply with your insane regulations. We will not do it. We, the people, will get rid of the New York State Department of Health. We, the people, will kick out the corrupt representatives that have abused their power and weaponized departments against us. Much of my family is in healthcare. My husband is a heart specialist here in the Capital Region. My daughter and my daughter-in-law are both New York nurses. And all of them, like thousands of others, were faced with losing their livelihoods if they did not comply with the unconstitutional vaccine mandates that, with no authority to do so, Cuomo, Hochul, Biden, and compliant, silent Tonko pushed on the people. I'm here because I agree with you. I'm here because I stand with you. I will fight with you, for you, alongside of you, for our families, for our businesses, for our states, for our state, for our freedoms, for our schools, for our children. Government didn't create us. We, the people, created the government. Government doesn't tell us what to do. We tell the government what to do. We are the ones that decide. And we, the people, are the ones that are always essential to government at every single level. But none of them are essential to us at any level, ever, without our permission to do so. Any power that government has comes from us. And all of that power can be taken away by us at any given moment. There is nothing more powerful than this, right here. Grassroots movements, right here, across our country, rising up, pushing back, sending a strong message. And I have to tell you that I strongly believe as long as we push for and get election integrity, we will win throughout New York and our country in the next 6.5 months at the midterm elections. I believe that. Because the people are awake. This is our time. This is our government. This is our state. These are our children, our schools, our businesses, our freedom, our liberties, our country. And I want to say thank you. God bless you. Let's put the joy back in New York. I hope you will continue to fight. I'm not quitting. I'm not leaving. I'm drawing a line. I will be with you the whole way. Call me anytime. I will show up. I thank you all. Thank you. God bless you. And let's win this thing and take our country back.
All right, Liz. Listen, she's not in my district, but I think she's going to have to send me one of those Liz Joy hats now. So Liz really talked about some important things. And I think it's really important that we don't leave New York. I mean, I was born in New York. I was raised in New York. I love New York. And so many of my friends and family have left the state which we love. We're still here fighting for New York. That's why we're here today. But we can't give up this fight. We can't throw in the towel. I mean, well, we could, but then we wouldn't be very good patriots, would we? We wouldn't be doing our duty, would we? And we owe it to our country and to the future of our nation to keep this fight going. It's up to us. If it's to be, it's up to me, right? So it's up to all of us to stand up and to push forward. So it's great for everybody that's come out here and all of our great speakers that we've got. So much passion, so much fervor, so much presence. But most of all, what they have is heart. And that's what everyone out here today has. Heart. And I hope that you can share that heart and that concern and that love and that caring with everybody else and get them motivated to stand up, to fight, and push for New York, because we do have these elections this year. They are crucial, and as New York goes, so goes the rest of the nation. So it's up to us, and we've got a whole bunch of more good speakers coming up soon. So one of the nice things about all of these speakers that we've got going on is that all of them are still fighting to this day. They're fighting from no matter what part of the state that they come from. They're fighting for your rights. They're fighting for my rights. So I'm a constitutionalist myself. And one thing that I love about our country is that we're a republic. Every single day they'll tell you that we're a democracy, but we're not a democracy. We are a republic. The difference between a republic and a democracy is a democracy always ends up with mob rule. Over the last 2 years, all we've seen is the mob ruling. They've told us what to eat. They've told us where to go. They've restricted our movements. They've restricted who we can talk to. They've restricted what you can say on the TV. They've restricted who can say what on the TV. They've restricted our schools. They've restricted our children. They've told you what you can teach your children. They told you what they're going to teach your children, and you better shut up about it. That's not how we're supposed to be, okay? And that's not what they're supposed to do. These people are supposed to represent us and our best interests. That's why I'm so glad that we have so many great people out here that are willing to stand up today. With that being said, we've got another great patriot that's ready to come up. Former Westchester County Executive and 2022 New York State Republican gubernatorial candidate. Okay, remember the primaries are coming up. Rob Astori. Where is it? Rob, where you at? Is he here? Where's it? Are we missing a person?
Rob.
Rob, where you at? Rob Astorino. Where are you? All right, so we're missing a person. It's perfectly fine. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm getting an update. All right. So it looks like, unfortunately, Rob will not be with us today, you guys. He sends his apologies. He had a family emergency, so his heart is with us anyway. So now let's talk about family. So many people that we know have had loved ones that have passed during this crisis. Loved ones that they haven't been able to see. Loved ones that they haven't been able to hold. Loved ones that they haven't been able to talk to or see before they pass. Now we all know that when you're alone and you're lonely, you get downhearted and you just don't have that fervor for life to push you forward, to keep you moving. So when they shut down visitation to hospitals, to nursing homes, they were purposefully putting those patients and those parents and those grandparents and family members into despair. For what? Who benefited? The government, because now they have to pay less Social Security? It wasn't us. We care about our loved ones. We wanted to be with them. We wanted to share this time with them, but we couldn't. And let's make sure that all of us here stand up and never allow that to happen again. So with that being said, we've got Paul Schwitt that's going to come to the stage right now. And Paul, where you at, brother? All right.
Can I take this off? I'm better moving around. I can take it off? All right. Hopefully I don't fall off. How we doing? There's a lot of people here, and I need to hear some patriots make some noise. How we doing? That's a lot better. I like that. A lot better. So my name is Paul Schwitt. I'm a New York City firefighter. Thank you. I've been on leave without pay for going on 6 months now. Yeah, I gotta be honest, it sucks pretty bad. I don't know if anybody else has had that situation, but when they take away your ability to feed your family and your livelihood, you really find out what's important. And usually when I say I'm a New York City firefighter, people have the same response. They rise, they cheer, they get all amped up. But I gotta tell you, throughout this whole process, I've let go of that whole identity. My identity of being a firefighter, before that I was a United States Marine.
Thank you.
And thank you. But, you know, all these things that I thought I was building my entire life, my identity of who I am, I realized those careers, those jobs just added to who I was. That wasn't my identity, right? This fight, standing up for my values and my beliefs, really made me figure out who I really am, right? Because it takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength to endure when everybody's telling you that you're doing the wrong thing. I am here to tell you that if you are not complying, that if you are standing your ground, you are doing the right thing. That's what we have here in America. The ability to stand up when everybody's telling you to sit down. When you see something wrong happening, you take a stand. That's what we do as Americans, right? Listen, we've been living pretty good. Before this pandemic, I gotta be honest, I was living really good. I wasn't focused on what was happening on the news. I wasn't focused on the stock market. I was making money, I had a job. I was doing pretty good for myself. And then the world came crashing down on all of us. And that could have been a great opportunity for everybody here, everybody in our society, in this world, to band together behind a common good. And that was stripped away from us pretty fast and made political, and politics and the media got involved and started this divide. I started my organization, Bravest for Choice, with a conversation with 10 people. Within one day, I had 2,000 people being part of that conversation. Not long after that, a group of freedom fighters and I had another conversation to start People's Coalition for New York. It all starts with a conversation. Whether you're having a conversation with your enemy, somebody that's on the other side of the aisle, whatever it is, we have to come together behind some common good, because I'm telling you, if we keep down this path, we're headed for turmoil, and it's not going to be good. We all see it. We all know it. And listen, I could talk all day about a vaccine or what the government's doing or the media, but we all know what's going on. But we have a duty and obligation as Americans to stand together, forget about all that noise, get back to a sense of community, find love in your heart, regardless of what the conversation turns out to be. Love your neighbor, that's it. And I guarantee good will come of it. I'm going to stay out for as long as I can. I don't know if I'm going to get fired or terminated. I've already been blacklisted from a lot of things. But I got to tell you what, hopefully they're honking for us. I've had the opportunity to travel around the nation a little bit these past couple months, from East Coast to West Coast, and I've built an alliance with the first responder community. And I got to tell you, you have a lot of people that are in your corner. Don't feel like you're ever alone in this fight. Don't feel like you are the only one having these thoughts of, like something wrong's happening. You're not alone, right? So the people around this country that are like-minded are going to be the ones that change it. It's always been up to the 1%, always. And I'm telling you right now, just take a quick second, real quick, everybody do yourself a favor and look around. This is the 1%. And it is up to you, it is up to all of us to have those tough conversations, to keep moving, to keep fighting, and to never give up. I'm telling you, there's an incredible amount of hope and faith in this world, and you got to hold on to it. And it's up to us to keep this country what made it great. It's still great. I don't even want to really touch on this. I had it in the back of my head, but in the first responder community, we're seeing a lot of adverse effects, okay? And I'm troubled by the amount of funerals that I've been to. And listen, I'm not a scientist, I can't talk on it, but I just want to ask the hard questions of what's happening. And my it could be, listen, it could be, brother. It could be. But I want to ask those hard questions. I want to hold people accountable and find the justice that we need in this world. And give people the choice. Give the choice back to the people. Thank you. Listen, do me a favor, go on bravestforchoice.org, check us out. Give us a look on Instagram. We're going to be doing things nonstop. We have an event that we have planning in the back of our heads right now. We need everybody to be part of it. If you're not part of PCNY, People's Coalition for New York, sign up, be a partner with them. But listen, the first responder community has your back. We need everybody to have our back as well. So thank you very much.
Yes. My good friend. Yes. I met her. She's one of my best. She's one of my best friends.
Oh shoot! Now the microphone is loose. Uh-oh. Oh, now I can break loose. See, they tied me down with the microphone because they knew that if I started to get mobile, that I was going to get serious, you guys. So that was really touching. I mean, we have so many people that are first responders, our military people who have been just, I mean, I'm not supposed to curse. They told me that I can't say profanity. Okay, but have been treated like dog do, okay, because of their choices. We've seen the federal government and their judicial lackeys, that's how I'll put it mildly, okay, stripping away the freedoms and liberties, the few that they have left in the military and for first responders, okay, stripping away their sense of self and their ability to choose for themselves.
Criminals!
Well, I mean, but it is kind of criminal, isn't it? I mean, if we did it to them, they try to put us in jail.
Absolutely.
You know? And this is not what America is supposed to be like. We've got a whole bunch of issues in our judicial system right now. Our judicial system has really turned into a system which is basically criminal justice. It's justice for the criminals. It's not justice for you, me, and everybody out here that has to live through crime or has to live through issues with our government that's overbearing and overburdening us with things that they have no business getting into.
Down with bill reform!
Bill reform is a big one. New York, all of you guys from New York State, bill reform is not good, right?
No!
Okay. Less is more, is that good?
No.
No, that's not good either. That's bad. Bad.
Less government, more cops.
Less government, period. I think we have way too much government, okay? I'm a small government person. I believe government is supposed to be local.
Yes.
I believe that the federal and the state level government has far too much power.
Amen.
I don't know why the state has their own board of education. That doesn't make much sense to me.
We let them.
And somehow, we let them, right? That's what it is, really.
Let them.
And somehow, our children still aren't prepared for the jobs out there. Our children can barely read or write. And they've taken script out of the school so that they're not able to read our founding documents like the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. They know what they're doing.
Yes, they do.
This is the way that China operates. Okay, China has so many characters in their language in Mandarin that only a few people can actually read most of their governmental documents. It takes 3,000 characters to read a newspaper in China. Most people only know about 2,500. There are over 40,000 characters in the language. So what we're seeing happen over there is coming over here. The surveillance, we're seeing it come over here. You see all of the cameras they're trying to put across the expressway? It's coming over here. And we have to stand up for these rights. We have to stand up for our liberties. We have to stand up for our freedoms. Most of all, our right to privacy is being invaded in every way, shape, or form. From your search browser history, okay, to where you travel on a daily basis. We saw they tried to push in with the vaccine passports. They wanted to track who you're around, how long you go places, who's there when you're there, where they go, and how everything is tracked and tied together. That is nothing but mass data collection and massive metadata filtering. And what can they do with that data?
Oh, a lot.
A whole hell of a lot. Okay? So many people don't understand, with that much data of knowing everybody you're around, everywhere you go, how much they're there and everything like that.
They'll cut your funding off.
It's more than just your funding. They can basically do predictive analysis, and they can decide, oh, well, if we give this little stimulus here, we can get you to act and perform this way. That's called being the hand of God. Okay? It's time that we let the Lord be God and the government stay the hell out of our lives.
Yep. Amen.
So that's why everybody has to get out this year and vote. So I'm going to encourage you to get out and vote, to stand up for our freedoms and liberties, because we are having a crisis of spirit, soul, and mind in this country. Okay? It is. It's spiritual warfare. That's what we're going through.
Psychological and biological.
Psychological and biological warfare it is. And now we've got the whole issue with all of the food and the crops and everything, you know. You can't even drink the water's poison. I mean, the rain is everything. So it's up to us to vote for the right candidates. So when you go out this year and you see what's going on, you say, okay, I'm going to make sure that I pick my candidate very carefully. I'm going to make sure that they're going to stand up and they're going to speak up and they're not going to shut up. Am I right? Okay? That's why we're out here today. Because we're tired of being quiet. We're tired of being the silent majority. We're not able to be silent anymore because you know who's loud? The mob. You know how many of them it is? Half and nobody. Half and nobody, okay?
So true.
It's a few random extremists, because that's what they are. Okay, they want to call us that, right? Okay, but they're out there saying, burning stuff down, tearing up buildings, causing issues for the police who protect us. My district, the 137th Assembly District that I'm running for in New York State this year, is one of the most violent districts in the whole state. Rochester, New York, okay? If you turn on the news and you pick anything about Rochester up, it's probably a murder, a stabbing, a shooting, a carjacking, or something that happened in my assembly district. I went to a meeting the other day that's supposed to be a town hall with my assembly person. Do you know that he had that whole thing peppered with all of his supporters just clapping and cheering him on? Nobody asked one real question. Nobody asked about the crime or what he's going to do. No solutions were proposed. And I know that you guys are getting much of the same from many of your other elected officials all across the state. They don't have any solutions because they don't want to fix it, because they did this to make us suffer on purpose. This was intentional, guys. They've done this to break our spirits so that they can break our backs and get us to be compliant with whatever their whims or fancies are.
We will not comply. We will not comply.
We must say no. We must stand up. And we must stand firm. And with that being said, I'm going to welcome Alma back to the stage, and she's going to sing God Bless America, because, my gosh darn it, we need a blessing.
This is my favorite. Oh, any guys? Now. So God bless America.
Oh, I love it.
Right? I'm waiting for my musicians. They're in that box.
No, you're good.
Oh, don't stop on my account. That's my favorite song, USA. Yeah. All right. Thank you for that beautiful rendition of God Bless America. Okay? Because that's what we need right now. Okay? Now, one thing about the Lord is He's left it up to us. It's our job to stand up and do His work here on earth. That's our job. That's why we're here. Okay? So we can't say, oh, Lord, please do this for us. No. It's, oh Lord, please give me the strength to take this undertaking on, and please guide and help me with this. Okay? It's up to us. Okay? Nobody's coming down out of the sky to save us. It's up to every single person here to take that and move forward, because the Lord will be with you if you stand up in righteousness. So, our country has a lot going on right now.
No.
No, just a little bit, right? Yeah. So, every single day, it's something new and fantastical on the news. Okay? It's just amazing, you know? Now we've got the impending food crisis, and all the food prices are going through the roof. Well, I didn't make it that way, you know, just farms and factories and food processing plants are catching on fire and burning down.
CEOs just resigned too. A couple of CEOs just resigned.
Who just resigned?
A couple CEOs, I think. From
So it's really serious what we've got going on right now. We've got issues with farmers that are trying to farm their land but have to pay more for what they need to actually produce the food that we eat. We've got issues with the truckers. We've got issues with the vaccine mandates for the truckers in many areas. Or in California, you've got the laws where if you're a trucker and you're an independent trucker, which most truckers are their own businesses. They're their own entrepreneurs. They're a very strong part of the American backbone. Okay? And in California, they say, oh, well, if you're not part of a union, you can't be a trucker. What type of nonsense is that? And then we wonder why we have supply issues and all of these things going on. How did that happen? That happened from poor legislation purposefully put in place under the guise of, well, oh, it's good for unions, or, oh, it's good for the environment. That's what they like to tell us now, right? When in New York State, we just passed this great budget, which gave us no more money to fix the electrical grid, which is failing all throughout our nation.
We're going to get a stadium.
Yeah, we're going to get a stadium. You guys like that stadium? Anybody get their free lifetime tickets?
And Hochul's husband's going to make a lot of money.
You know, I would have preferred that they use that money for something that's important, like maybe our water treatment or our electric grid, which is failing. You know, you turn on your heat if you live in the city in the winter. It's always going out, the electric goes out. I mean, in the summer when you turn on the air conditioner, the whole neighborhood goes out. But everything's going to be electric. I'm an environmental conservationist, so don't get it twisted. I'm all about that green life and energy and stuff like that. I'm a big proponent of nuclear. Okay, that's where I see nuclear, hydrogen, and hydropower. I think that needs to be talked about more, but it's not happening. Okay, I wonder why.
Because it saves money.
Don't talk about saving money in New York State. We got plenty of money. We got plenty of money. We got all of the money from the federal government. The federal government gave us plenty of money because of COVID. But we were in the red, tens of billions of dollars before we got that COVID funding. Then they shut all of our businesses down for so long that it was ridiculous. And then when they did open businesses back up, customers didn't have money to buy because the prices for everything have gone up ridiculously. Most of them haven't been working and getting the full pay that they need. And a large portion of people have been displaced from their jobs because of the mandates that have been put out. Companies have scaled back, companies have fled the state, so the money just isn't there to go around, and the government is depending on what? A savior from the federal government to keep billing us out? Money printer. And now our money is worth less and less every day. The Russian ruble is on the rise. They even have the gold standard in Russia right now. Russia? Yeah. What? Yes, the Fed needs to go. Okay, but it's ridiculous right now. We do not have the right monetary policy in the country or in the state. We do not have the right usage of our taxpayer dollars in this state, and they keep finding more ways to spend more of our money every single day on something that they're telling you that's good for you, but they didn't even ask you if you want it. But I know many of you guys, your assessments and your taxes have gone up, but your property hasn't seen much of a change, right? Oh man, I mean, I just love those extra taxes, the extra couple $100 that they're charging a year now. You know, I love those rising heating costs, the rising cooling costs. Isn't that awesome? But we've got stadium money. Stadium? Everybody likes football. I love them. I love the Bills. Okay, don't get it twisted. But let them pay for it. Now, funny thing about that is, didn't they just take the Native American people's money to spend on a stadium?
They did.
Oh, Jiminy, I mean, did we not learn from history that that's just not a good look? No, that's what it was. It was extortion. It was extortion from a business in New York State, kind of like the way that they've been extorting us by increasing our taxes and charging us more for everything this whole time. And it's about time that we ended that. It's about time that we had candidates and we had politicians that would stand up and say, no, our taxes are too high. We need to get our monetary policy under wraps. We need to stop spending so much tax money, and we need to figure out how to save instead of spend and beg the federal government for money.
Yep.
Less spending on things that we don't need, more money in your pocket. That's the way that I feel. Decentralization, you said it.
That's right.
So with that being said, we're going to have
That's true.
Okay. We're going to have that was on me. I got too passionate, you guys. So we're going to have a great candidate come up right now that's running for 109th Assembly District. Oh, 110th? Oh, so, see, that was my notes. That one wasn't me. 110th Assembly District, Miss Alexandria Villela.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Alexandria, slide on up here.
Hello, everybody. I am so excited to be here and see such a wonderful turnout and just see all of this energy and support. Might be getting a little crazy, huh? See all the energy and support. So is it this way? Okay, I'm gonna leave it here and talk into this. How about that?
Yeah, so why don't you take this one?
Okay.
I broke it.
Sorry, guys, it was my passion. It was too strong.
He is a very, very, very passionate fellow we've got here, but I am so excited to be here with all of you people who are here to support something that we all believe in, which is freedom, small government, low taxes, and individual rights. I have had more people come up to me and say, why are you doing this right now? You know, the 110th Assembly District is a little bit blue. This guy's been there for 10 years, and I've looked around and said to these people, in the last 10 years, what has this man done to make anything better? You're working harder than ever. Your paychecks are smaller than ever. Your dollar goes less distance than ever. And all I see is more and more effort to stifle the citizens of the state of New York. This is my home. This is where I want to raise a family. This is where I want to work and thrive, and I want to be a part of a community that is thriving. Not a community that is stifled by the boot of the state and federal governments on our necks. I do not believe that what we need is more bail reform, more rights for criminals. What we need is rights for victims. And these people are not focused on it. They are busy running around in their little vaxxed necklaces and lining their pockets with your money. Billions of dollars going into a stadium in Buffalo that the governor will be personally profiting off of.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I am sick and tired of the lack of transparency. And I am so happy to see so many like-minded conservatives and young Republicans really stepping up to the plate to say, we've had enough and we're tired of this and we want to do what's right. We want to represent the people. We don't want to serve our own interests. We don't want to accumulate power. We want to do what's right and make our communities better and stronger than ever. We have a crisis in our school system, a crisis with crime, and it is happening everywhere in the state of New York. I've lived in the city, I've lived up here, And I've seen the horrible impact that one-party rule and progressive policies have had on the people in this state. We cannot do it. We will not survive. People are leaving at a rate that is astronomical. More people have left the state of New York than any other state. Why is that? It is the progressive agenda that is making it impossible to live in this area. And my opponent is one of the biggest supporters of masking your children, restricting your freedom, and taking your money out of your pockets. And where is that money going? Because it's not helping any of us. With that said, I am so inspired and so happy to see so many people out here supporting something that we care about, and it is more important than ever that we take this opportunity to really build a base and encourage some ideological consistency on the right, some fidelity to the principles that our nation was founded on, to the Constitution, so that we can truly have a government for the people and by the people, what our nation was founded on. And you know, we're really looking this year, I know a lot of you might be local, I am running in the 110th Assembly District, which is the town of Colony, the town of Niskayuna, portions of Guilderland and Schenectady, smaller portions of those areas, but the district this year after redistricting has actually gotten better. And what we really need to do is get boots on the ground for all of our conservative candidates, for all of the people running for school board May 17th. Everybody mark your calendars, go out and vote for school board. We have been working our butts off to get great candidates out there. In Colony schools, in the Niskayuna schools, in the Schenectady schools, so your children are being taught things like math and reading and writing. History, not revisionist history, like actual history. So your kids learn science.
Hit them hard with the Constitution.
Not science. So no more indoctrination. And so that you, parents, have a right and a say in what's happening in that classroom. So you are aware of what's going on with your own children. And they are not being raised by the government. It's, as I was saying, it is so important that you get involved with your local committees and you really get out there and you push for the candidates that share your ideals and share, you know, your spirit and your love of freedom and your love of country and your love of the state of New York. And I thank you all for being here, and, you know, check out my website, find me on Facebook. It's Velella for New York, VELELLA, number 4 NY. Find me on social media and, you know, find all your candidates and help wherever you can, whenever you can, however you can, because that's the only way that we will build our base and move forward with a more freedom-loving nation.